here, man. You a saint. You follow what I'm saying? So they didn't have to really develop themselves and really find balance. And when they found out that Christianity was a lie, they went and took the same nervous energy to another religion. Or they started smoking cigarettes. Or they did something else as a channel for nervous energy instead of letting it pass, sitting with themselves, and just bringing themselves to balance throughout their day. In any and all situations, circumstances, and conditions. Ain't that heavy? Bringing balance to themselves in any and all situations and circumstances throughout the entire day. That's what they have to do. The same nervous energy that makes the Christian become overzealously dogmatic is the same nervous energy that makes people go out and rob people. Those same people can't sit still. The nervous energy is the same. And them same people will say, well, and a Christian will come to them and say, you need God. At that moment, right? But you know what the Christian is saying? You're just as nervous as I am. And this is how I channel my nervousness. We say, get rid of the nervousness. Get rid of it. See it for what it is. And balance yourself. And one way to get rid of it is observing it and seeing it for what it is. We give thought to it. Oh, I ain't found God. Oh, I ain't this, I ain't that. No, you're just nervous as hell. It's a fact. We add meaning and definition to it. And conspiracy. You follow what I'm saying? But in reality, it's just just nervousness with himself. And it passes like the seasons do. If we observe it and sit through it, it will neutralize. And we'll find out that, wait a minute, we don't need to chant, we don't need to pray, and we can be whole people. And you don't find whole people going out doing extreme type things. As you will find Christians destroying the whole country of people in the name of God. Muslims in the name of God killing people, blowing themselves up. Because the nervous energy manifested in the religion creates a certain type of dehumanizing zealotry. But if they self-realize and balance the nervous energy, they'll find themselves in balance in all situations in their life. And they won't be too far to the left or too far to the right. It's a fact. They can read from these different holy books and gain wisdom without becoming mad. People become religiously mad, beat their children, they get demons out of them. They're mad. Don't talk to their whole family because they ain't of the same religion that they are. Mad. Go move up in the church and not talk to nobody no more. Become a Jehovah's Witness and become somebody else. They're mad. They have directed their nervous energy and they imbalance into this channel where those people there are willing to exploit that and not really help them people really find balance within themselves. Not help them really actually embrace reality. Nation building is a place where reality has and will be dealt with. This is no place where reality can be hid. If somebody's under a nervous disillusionment, they will realize that. Here. They will come to the realization in themselves. This is nervous disillusionment. The stuff that we project on one another, 90% of it is nervous disillusionment. The stuff that we react over in fear, the panicking that we do, is 90% nervous disillusionment. This is a place where we must come out of that. Because you cannot defeat an enemy if the enemy you seek to defeat ain't even real. And it's just an outward projection of your nervous disillusionment. You don't even know who the real enemy is. It's like somebody threw some shit in your eyes and you see everything you see is the enemy. That's the best way not to defeat the real one. Is by seeing everything as your enemy. Your people, everything. It's a nervous disillusionment. So we challenge that here. Well, religions push that. They push the nervous disillusionment. And they make us think that this religious understanding of human beings is more important than coming to know people for who they really are. They push that. And by us accepting the religious illusion of people, now when we see people even act out themselves, then we become nervous. You see what I'm saying? Because now we're trying to fit them into something that ain't even real. That you got to go Sunday and lock the doors to your churches to even create the figment of it. Because it's not real even to the people that are leaving the church. And everybody's believing in something that don't even exist, that nobody's doing. And mad at each other for not doing it and not living up to it when it was never lived up to. It was nothing but symbolism. The form or the image or the presentation, but it was not the reality of those people there. So in nation building, we come out of that. And we have to look at people honestly, and to be honest, you have to be non-judgmental. Because your non-judgmentalness is open-mindedness to hear people. If you're judgmental, you ain't going to want to hear people, what they got to say, or their experiences. You really don't want to hear it. You really don't want to see what people really are. Hell, if they're not a Christian, I don't want to know you. When half of the people in your church who are Christians, you don't know what they really own. And you're Muslims. You don't know what they are doing and what they own. You don't know. You just know them when you're praying with them. You know them in the service. So it's a way for you not to get to know people, to live in Alice in Wonderland, to live in a fake reality, thinking you're going to build something real. And the Muslims in America are the most fakest people on the earth. Because they're not even real Muslims. They're not going to die over no Quran. They're not going to fight over no Quran. If they did, they would have. It's a fact. The Muslims in America would not fight. They're really Christians. They're Islamic Christians. Because at the end of the day, they're going to maintain the Christian basis of the society through their ways and actions. At the end of the day, you say y'all real Muslims? How many Muslims over here is polygamous? I ain't met a Muslim polygamist since I've been over here. And it's subscribed in the Quran that you can take on more than one wife. So if you see all these Muslims and none of them is practicing no polygamy, then you know they're not real Muslims. They're Christian Muslims. And I'm not saying I subscribe to the Quran or anything in it, but I'm just talking about as far as their integrity to their religion. And I'm saying how America produces hypocrites. And our whole society is hypocritical. And the revolution to that is to have a courage to be real people among real people. That is revolutionary. In a society of hypocrisy, to be a real person among real people is a revolutionary thing. Because some people saying, I can't deal with you if you're a Christian, unless you're a Mason, if you don't shake your hand up like this and do this, I can't deal with you. That means they only willing to deal with you out of a superficial reality when they know it's more to you than that. But just because we're in a lodge, everything is good. You could be doing whatever, wherever, however, but as long as you're in a lodge and we're shaking hands and you go to my church, it's fine. Those relationships are politicians. So in a time like this, to be a revolutionary means to be nothing but a real person. But to be a real person, you got to be real with yourself. And if you understand the nature of yourself and you've looked at that for what it really is, you can look at the nature of others. Honestly, without being threw off, threw back, confused, or shocked. Because the nature of another person is the same nature of yourself. Another person is who and what you are. So if you can look at that, then you know the people around you. You know the people around you. Now, with the same nature you have, they might went through different and other experiences. But the same nature went through them. The same potential therein lied in them situations and circumstances. So nation building is a place where reality exists. And our inability to deal with the reality means that we're not real enough to cause real change in the world. Because we can't accept what reality is. And reality People are people. And I got to 30 years old to realize that. Some people can save themselves some time. There is no mythological place where people are at where they're not people. There are no Christian people. There are no Muslim people. There are no Hindu people. There are no Buddhist people. You be around people long enough, you'll find out that those people are people. Wherever you go, wherever you find them. So the higher religion is not to ascribe to a religious perspective of reality. The higher religion is to truly, sincerely come to understand people. That is the greatest religious practice. Because if you must revere something, have reverence versus a reverend. If you must revere something, it should be what's there. You don't look at the stop sign because it's tradition. You revere your life not getting hit by a car. So if anything is there to be revered, it should be what's real. We should not revere God who we cannot see. We should revere the real nature of people, the nature of reality, the nature of our community. We should revere the natural reality of man and self, because that is there. And that could save your life. But revering a God that you have not seen is insignificant in an interplay when the decisions that we make among one another are so vital to our survival into the future. That's a fact. So nation building is not some type of a religious group where we overlay some dogmatic understanding of people tied into some God. It is a place where we have come further to understand the nature of reality together. And as a collective consciousness of people who want to understand reality. Because the more you understand reality, the less mistakes you make. The less you are hurt. Am I right? When you understand reality. By us understanding reality, we are able to live like this. Because we understand the reality of real estate. Not what they teach, you get your real estate license and you'll make $1 million bullshit. We understand the reality of these properties sitting here. You feel me? So if you understand the reality of something, you have power. If you have a superficial relationship to it, you are weak. You are vulnerable. So nation building is about understanding reality as a whole. And in our understanding of reality, we now have power. Our people don't want to understand reality. They understand being gods, Muslims, Christians. They understand praying in Bibles, in televisions, and videos. They don't understand reality in the moment as it is. They have no desire to. They're comfortable with their fairy tales. And if you talk to them about something real for too long, they're subject to run. You don't even need mace. Somebody trying to stick you up, talk to them about something real. Do you feel me? And they'll probably run from you. Because that's how we live in a society that is an escape from reality. And all the lights, cameras, and action is a distraction. It's trying to distract themselves from what's real. We distract ourselves from the reality of death till we're dying. You go up there to the little Cedar Park funeral home, it's a big-ass brick wall around the cemetery because we don't want to deal with the reality of death. If you ain't been on the other side of the wall, you might not even know what's there. You have some concept of the cemetery, but it doesn't occur to you there are really dead bodies laying there from the beginning of time. It's dead bodies laying under there because we're covering up the reality. It's a fact. So for nation building, black people have to really come into reality. They have to. And come out of the superstitious, religious, mystery reality. They got to. Because if they don't come out of that,